So here it goes. We're gonna check, see how it's been doing. I turned it on, the pump's been running for about 5 or 6 minutes. And hopefully there's no leaks. Well, here we go again. So, I have a pool, about 10 years old, saltwater pool, and it broke again. As you can see, it's beautiful. I just cleaned it yesterday. But when I was looking at my pump that I just replaced the filter housing and all the plumbing, one of the nuts to the salt grid cracked. And this is the third nut I've put on this system. It's a discontinued system, second salt grid system, and I'm pretty much done with this system at that point. So what I'm going to do is just cut out that plumbing and replace it with a straight pipe, and now I am no longer a salt pool, now a chlorinated pool. I've never had that kind of pool. I wanted a effortless, maintenance-free pool 10 years ago, and I don't think those are a thing. So, here we go. Alright, it's hard to see at this angle. Right there. You can see it cracked. Okay. So, that's hard plumbed up from there to this elbow to this diverter valve that either goes to the cleaner or the water flow. Back down to the ground. I tell you, this system. So it comes out of the housing, the filter housing there. That is brand new. It's about a year old. So I guess not brand new. But all this plumbing is new up to the pump. See, this housing also, it cracked right here. Again, it didn't leak, but it would have. I didn't catch it in time. So I thought I outsmarted the system. I got the exact same housing, same model number, everything, so I wouldn't have to re-plumb anything. It would just fit together. It didn't work that way. So I think the manufacturer knew that this was a problem with it, because it was very thin-walled construction right there at that connection. So the manufacturer made it thicker right there, which is great, but that means these connections right here were in different locations, and they were not, how do I put it, compatible with the old ones. So for all my outsmarting, I ended up having to re-plumb the whole thing anyways, along with the new filter housing. And FYI, if you ever have to replace one of these, they come with new filters. I wasn't sure of that, so now I have 8 filters. But it works out pretty well, because now I just change out the filters, clean them, put the previous ones that I just cleaned out in, and that way I don't have to slow down. So, let's get this all cut out. I don't know if I just put it on with a little bit too much lateral stress, because where I was stuck with this in the ground, but if you can see way down here, that weird cut, that is actually the second time this has been replaced. I paid a guy to do that because I didn't want to deal with the hassle of all of this. So he had already replaced these down here and these up here, and then of course when I had to re-plumb all this, I had to replace that a third time. So I could try to get a new, these are still available, I could re-plumb it, and I could probably make it work, but I don't know if you can see how horrible my salt grid is. At any rate, it's a Polaris Zodiac or something rather like that. It's already a used one I got off of eBay, and I made it work out of the old one and the new one, and it was a pain. And so, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Even I just cleaned it. It's hard to see. About a month ago, and you can see all the calcium. It's a very difficult torque area right there. I do have a saw, I could cut this here because I'm going to probably seam it right there. And I got more than enough down here. But it's hard to get a saw in. So what I'm going to try to do first is use this guy right here. Cool. Well, I'm at the no going back stage now. That's the scary stage. There it is. Sure if I don't regret that decision. All it really is a piece of braided stainless cable. There's nothing embedded in it. I'm sure you could just make one of these yourself. It's really, really simple. But that worked out great. Here's some free information nobody told me. At least my tool installer never told me, and I didn't find out for a long, long time. And then my little jigger right there, this elbow, quick removal. There's a stainless steel screen there to keep all the flakes from jamming up the gears inside the cleaners and the floor cleaners. So after a few months or a year, man, the floor cleaners weren't working at all. They weren't doing anything. I got the repair people out here and they said, the thing's filthy. Oh, I didn't even know it was a thing. That method works pretty well, but I have to notice this is painted because during the summer, even though this is the north side of the house, it will get sun over here, and PVC is pretty much untreated and is not UV safe. And it gets all yellow and brittle, and so you paint it. So here's a test fitting. Ooh, that looks right. Look at that. That's toit. It's so toit. It's toiga toit. Toit like a toiger. I feel like this pipe just goes straight down, back up again to here. It goes from here over to here and into the in-floor cleaner. So this would have been where the salt got turned into chlorine, got pumped back out again. This was a pressure relief valve, or a check valve. So if it was coming up and this was clogged out like a can or broke or whatever failure, the pump wouldn't burn out and it would just dump the pressure back into the pool again. So I mean, I could just go from here to there, but I don't know for sure if in the ground it goes somewhere else. I'm gonna keep with the way it was. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is get this one put down in there, because it's a pretty tight fit and I don't want to try to do this all at once. I'll clean this up, and glue it together, push it down, then I'll do a measurement from there. This is just the primer. It's a cleaner and it prepares the plastic to melt together to itself. It's important to do this to both sides. I'm not a licensed plumber by any means, so don't take my advice for anything. Now whenever I glue these things together, I generally start with whatever part I can't put down. So if I put glue right here and I put it that way, I could get dirt in it and all the glue would slump off. But I put it down like that, that seems like the smart way, but then the glue rolls down into the part where I'm not gluing yet, and it makes the next connection really difficult. So what I'm going to do is put glue on the pipe first. So there it is. It's in there. Very cool. Isn't that cool, Finn? I'm going to get you. So now The other thing about these fittings is that they are slightly tapered, so it's a little bit wider here, and the closer you get to this seam inside, the more tapered it is. So my other problem is, you can see this is about, call it 1.5 inches deep. That should ideally be how long this flange should be, but I don't have 1.5 inches, so I got to work with what I got. Is cut off a little bit of this so that the glue isn't right on the widest part of the taper, and I can push it up a little bit further than I could normally. Yes, I like to do all this stuff with sandals on. It's the safe way of doing everything. Alright, the last thing I'm going to do is take a measurement. So we said about 1.5 inches. We're going to go 1.5 inches down that way. We already have to add 3 inches to this. So 3 plus 10.5, by my count, that's 13.5. Looks about right. I was hoping to have a little bit more slack there. So, since I don't, I think I'm gonna have to move some stuff. I'm gonna do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Alright. More sanding. Looking at me now. Seems inappropriate. This is a lot of fun. This is exactly everything I ever want to do. Home ownership is the best. You're stupid if you don't own a house. So while that's still setting up, I went ahead and I put this connection back on there to the bottom of the filter housing. I put my elbow back on after I cleaned out that. So when I put this back together, I have to make sure that this lines up with that port, because I don't want it to be too high or too off center. I want to seam it there, but I also didn't want to push so much that I stressed or broke this pipe, because then that's even more work. I don't know. Everything's so much work. So what I'm going to do now is do a test fit, and hopefully at that point I'll just have to take it off, clean it, glue it, put it in place, and then hook everything up. So I guess if everything went well, I let it cure for about, I don't know, the better part of the day, 6 hours. That means I no longer have a salt pool, I just have a normal pool. So let's see how it's doing. I don't see any leaks. No leak. There shouldn't be any power on here now. And now it's dead. So here's my non-saltwater pool. At least that's something. I didn't waste my entire day. I just have to throw rocks away.